You're tuned into the It's Real podcast with your hosts, Kayla Callender and Andrew Yagi. Each week, we'll talk about what happens behind the scenes working full-time in real estate and share with you real-life stories, our successes and failures as we work to help consumers and industry professionals reach their real estate and real-life goals. Here we go. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 3 of the It's Real podcast. I'm Andrew Yagi, and I'm a real estate agent.
Hi, I'm Kayla Callender, and I'm a mortgage loan officer.
Kayla, how are you doing this week?
I am warming up just like the weather, Andy. We're starting to see a little bit more activity, people wearing shorts when it's about 30 degrees. So warming up.
I don't think I've seen shorts out in public, although my 3-year-old, she's kind of in the stage of wearing short sleeve dresses, and her go-to outfit is a pair of shorts and
Perfect.
a 4th of July dress that she had on this morning. But
she's getting ready.
She is getting ready. Spring is around the corner, believe it or not, even if we're going to see kind of some nasty weather tomorrow or overnight, it sounds like.
It's coming. It's coming up. How about you? You've got some travel, don't you? Are you going to be able to get out of town with this winter storm?
Yeah, I think it's going to work out. I'm confident it will work out. It's good to be optimistic, right, Kayla?
Hey, you got to manifest that, Andy.
Absolutely. So what's going on in your world? Any big wins, personal, professional?
Yeah. I think last time we spoke, I discussed how we're seeing a lot more people kind of get off the fence and apply for a home loan. They're not afraid, that scary step. So what I'm seeing as wins in the last probably week or so is that I've had a lot of accepted offers. The people weren't just taking that step of getting approved, but they were taking that bigger step of putting in an offer. And I've had a lot of successful clients from conventional to FHA get accepted offers in the last week. So
Fantastic.
It's moving a little bit. So I was a little fearful that we'd see people apply and then not take action, but we are seeing people get serious.
Awesome.
Yeah. What about in your world? What are you seeing?
What am I seeing? Well, I guess from a real estate standpoint, things have been a little bit quieter at our office. We're having a lot of great conversations with buyers and sellers. The market, kind of like we talked before, it really was off to the races.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the year. And then, as we saw some economic data come out, which, we'll kind of focus on today, during our show. But as we've seen some of that, I think people are maybe a little cautiously optimistic.
Yes.
So a little bit slower in that regard. But, in the meantime, just trying to really plan, trying to, get everything in order in our office, so we can put our best foot forward this year, and also working on a lot of things kind of in the personal and professional development area. I love learning, Kayla, and so really kind of doing a variety of things there.
You always are great at providing your clients, I feel like, Andy, with so much education too. And so I think in this time, this is when you really lean into your craft. This is your time as a mortgage and real estate professional to really focus on where are the holes? How can we serve our clients better? How can we educate? How can we make our clients have a better experience? So I think a lot of people right now, if you're doing the job with your heart, you are educating yourself just like you're doing, Andy.
Yeah. And I think, education goes a lot further than just, our craft here in real estate. One thing, and that's the thing I appreciate about you so much, Kayla, is I think it's important to be really well-rounded. And I look at some of the things that you're doing in the community, some of the different causes that you're passionate about, especially with pets and other things. I think that's really good. And I think, doing some things outside of real estate or mortgage in your case, really does, make all of us a better individual. Just this last month, a lot of people who know me know that I'm really into aviation and flying. And I love aviation for personal reasons, for travel and the like, but really like to use it kind of as a tool to give back as well, and introducing, kids in the school systems, to flying, giving people, free flights for medical treatment through organizations organizations like
Mhm.
Angel Flight. That's near and dear to my heart. But I
Mhm.
also love to learn. I love being a lifelong learner like you. And so earlier this month, I earned my certified flight instructor certificate. And actually, just this morning, I was in Crookston, Minnesota, and went back for my instrument instructor add-on. And again, just really, I think it helps keep me sharp, especially this time of year, when things are maybe a little bit slow. I start
Yeah.
sitting here and going stir crazy. And so
Yeah.
how do I stay sharp for my clients? Some
Mhm.
people have looked at me and have said, oh, you're not focused. You're doing too many things. But I think just the opposite. I think that by doing some of these other things and keeping my mind sharp and engaged,
Yeah.
that I'm showing up better for my clients.
Well, and truthfully, you are adding a lot of value back when you can give back to, like you said, Angel Flight, or maybe you have a client that wants to see homes in other cities and it's a quick flight. I mean, the fact that you can do that and on the side, maybe play them some piano, Andy, or sing to entertain them. I think that you're just adding value in so many ways. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I think it's all about people. I mean, my big
Yeah.
why, and I know your why a lot is helping serving people,
Mhm.
and making sure you can help them reach their goals, which is kind of why we're here today, Kayla. Is that
Over here.
we want to help people accomplish their goals, and in this case, kind of
Mhm.
focusing on the real estate portion.
Mhm. And
So,
I think by giving back, it's going to empower people. It's not only as they're working in this industry, but as a buyer to give them a little hope and a little faith.
yep, absolutely. Well,
Mhm.
Kayla, I want to segue a little bit kind of into our main topic today. And that is kind of, what's going on in the market. And I'm sure it happens to you all the time when you're out and about. People ask me nonstop, hey, what's going on in real
Yeah.
estate? And I had shared this article with you a couple of days ago, and, it kind of
Mhm.
talked about a modest recession could put a lid on 2023 home sales, according to Fannie Mae. And this is an article shared by
Mhm.
Inman News, which Inman is kind of a real estate industry resource. And so I think, Kayla, really, some of the high points in this article just talking
Yeah.
about, because we did just have, home data come out, or some home data, but then also consumer price index and jobs report. Actually, inflation wasn't quite as bad as they thought it was going to be last month.
Mhm.
The jobs report was good. There were more people hired than expected. Great news, but actually negative for real estate and for rates.
Mhm.
And we saw probably about a percent jump in interest rates. Kayla, would you say very briefly last week?
Yeah, so we saw around February 6th of this year, we saw some hope. We saw rates coming down. We were excited. People were feeling a lot more hopeful. And then, within the last week or two, we saw them rise again. I even noted that Freddie Mac was reporting 6.09% on the second. And then as of now, Freddie is reporting roughly 6.5. So we're starting to see this come back up again. And now people are feeling confused. They're feeling, I don't want to say led on, but I think there was a really high hope like, oh, wow, rates are coming down.
We beat this.
Yeah, we did it. And now it's okay, well, maybe we need to stop and, reassess. Is that a difference maker in my monthly payment? Now they're asking again. But almost like we talked about a little false hope, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, this
Mhm.
article to me was really, really interesting, and
Mhm.
that it just talks about the US is on track for a modest recession. So I like the word modest versus,
Yeah.
something, really extreme. And it could put
Mhm.
a damper on the promising start to the spring season. So in spring, of course, we see a busy season, a lot of people motivated to buy and sell. We might not see as busy of a season, but then it goes on to say, of course, we will see rates dropping by the end of the year. So that's great news.
Hopeful.
And then sales rebounding in 2024, and that's according to Fannie Mae. How do you feel about that, Kayla?
I think a lot of us were trying to guess what's going to happen in 2023. 2022 was a year of like a lot of pivoting, let's be honest. It's you're fighting for deals or you're learning how to sell differently and you're adding value and you're trying to educate your clients, but yet the forecasts aren't always spot on. I hate to say we don't have crystal balls, but we can do what we can. And so I think a lot of times we were hoping 2023 was going to come out, we're going to see lower rates, but I think that we all need to step back and say, okay, we were really blessed for quite a few years with rates in the twos.
Yep.
And I think we need to be realistic to our clients and to ourselves when we say this may be the new normal. Will we see rates increase or decrease? Yeah, we're going to see rates fluctuate. It's going to happen. But the other day I was thinking, I was working on a client file, and I was thinking about how the client had lots of debt, and that's not abnormal. That's pretty normal. And how we've never seen clients really say much about credit card rates. I don't think I've ever had a client say, my darn credit card's at 22%. But wow, they are, and we are so vocal about interest rates on home loans. And so I think there's just that shift in that mindset that just needs to happen a little bit, that this may be our new normal. And we might have to look at our budgets, get together with our financial advisors and say, okay, if this is the new normal, what can I do with my other debt and assets to allow myself to create generational wealth through home ownership and real estate? And
Mhm.
that's just my honest, genuine thoughts.
Yep. No, and I think you're spot on. You talk about rates and just shifting that mindset. My dad had sent, my brothers and brother-in-law and I a text this morning and just had said, a $400,000 mortgage at 2 3/4 is 1,600 a month. 250,000 mortgage at 6 3/4 is 1,600 a month. Price has to decline by 37, and a half for the same monthly mortgage payment.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, there is some truth to that. But again, um, I think what I've been telling people, Kayla, and what it comes down to is, if you're fine in your situation, your home's working
Mhm.
great for you, you
Mhm.
shouldn't do anything. But you shouldn't do anything either, when rates are 2%, let alone 6 to 7.
Yeah.
But if it's not working for you and you have to make a change, I think you need to, of course, weigh all your options, but then ultimately do what's best for you and your family, given your situation. And, just because of a rate, don't not
Mhm.
necessarily do something. You
Mhm.
talked a little bit about rates and how they will come down, and I had this up on screen just a little bit ago, but of
Mhm.
course, we are seeing that between, the blue dot is Fannie Mae's prediction, and then the Mortgage Bankers Association,
Mhm.
their predictions as far as rates will be. I like the Mortgage Bankers Association rate, or their prediction better. Kayla, how about
Me
you?
too. The green, I love green. It's my favorite color. So I'm going to lean that way.
Right. Yeah. So who knows? I mean, it'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see. Do you want to go on the record and place a bet today at
Oof.
where you think rates will be at year end, keeping in mind that they're predicted anywhere quarter 4 from 4.6 to 5.1?
Wow. So it depends what the bet is. But, I think that people don't place bets because they don't want to be wrong. But I think it's fun to take the knowledge that we do have and say, okay, what do we truly think? And based on our knowledge, what does Kayla think? What does Andy think? I think that by year end, so end of 2023, we could see around 5.5.
Okay.
How about you, Andy? What are you thinking?
I am thinking, and sorry, I was jumping way out to 2024 before. So end of
Um,
2023 is 5.3 to 5.7. You're at 5.5.
yeah, that's where I was.
And we didn't decide what we were betting, but here's an idea. How about if you're right, I'll make $100 donation to a charity of your choice, something maybe animal
Oh,
wise. And if I'm
I
right,
like
you can
that.
make $100 donation to Angel Flight. How about that?
I love that. I love
Okay.
that. Mine would
All
be
right.
to Homeward Animal Shelter, and
Okay,
yours would be
Homeward Animal Shelter and Angel Flight. All right, so
perfect.
I'm going to bet you're at 5.5. I'm going to say 5.3. I'm going to say that the
Mhm.
Mortgage Bankers Association they're going to nail it, or maybe I should just bet $1, Bob.
$1. Come on
Yeah,
down.
yeah. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I mean, those are great prediction. It's really good
Mhm.
to see that, that rates are potentially trending lower. How about, Kayla? I want to talk just a minute about home sales, because this is a big
Mhm.
piece of
Yeah.
it. When we look at this information, and so we
Mhm.
look at home sales, existing homes, here at, 6.1 million in 2021.
Mhm.
And a total of 700,000 new construction. And you see how it's kind of
Mhm.
dwindled a little bit last year and going to dwindle some more. And then, the prediction is that things are going to,
Mhm.
rebound quite a bit, probably by about what, 500,000 homes or better.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
I think everything is showing hope for 2024. I think that we're going to be challenged with our mindset a little bit in 2023. But I do feel like 2023 is going to set 2024 up for even stronger than we had hoped for.
Hmm. Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think you're right. And maybe just one final metric, to touch on, just kind of talking about purchase loan volume that, especially
Mhm.
in your business, Kayla, and of course it directly
Yeah.
affects those of us as real estate agents too. But boy, that's kind of a huge drop in loan volume. Talk a little bit about that from a lender standpoint.
We saw heavily refinances in 2020, 2021, and there were lenders that their whole business was refinance. And if your bread and butter is refinancing, then boy, they had some problems coming into a year where there were none. There were absolutely none. And I can speak for myself. I had as many refis as I had purchases. And so we're seeing now, obviously, people got those lower rates. They're not going to be refinancing. We are seeing a purchase heavy environment. And so
Mm,
when I look at this and I see 21, wow, that's accurate, way more refinances. And then into 2022, you know, I'm actually not surprised at all by 2022 based on the rates. But 2023, Andy, when I saw this article, it surprised me because I was hopeful based on the forecast and things that I had read that I would see more of an increase in refis, but I think it's just one of those things where we're just going to wait it out. 2024 seems to be the year that's going to win.
yeah,
But
well, I guess we'll wait and see. We've made our predictions. We've placed our bets, and time will tell. But well, I think that puts a wrap on episode 3 today. We've talked a lot about some great economic data. And as always, if Kayla or I can be a resource for anyone watching this, please reach out.
we're here to help.
Have a great week, everybody.
Take care.